Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to video number 2 of the prediction series. As every year, I'm again predicting the outcome, the final standing of all 4 NHL divisions. I already did the Central. I have to commit, doing the Central video, green was a very bad choice for the marker. This time I'm using purple for the Pacific division. Once again, I'm wearing the jersey of a team that I think could surprise us in a positive or a negative way. Remains to be seen. And yeah, without further ado, after the Central, Pacific is next. The Eastern Conference will follow in 2 different videos. And then, of course, I will make a playoff prediction video and unveil my pick for the Stanley Cup in 2024. But without further ado, let's get into predicting the Pacific Division. Yeah, and I really hope purple is a better choice in color. The green was, couldn't see it that good. I noticed it on editing the video, but I didn't want to redo the video. So yeah, that was the way it is. Now I'm using purple and I will use black and I think blue for the Eastern Conference. We will see. Anyway, let's get into predicting the Pacific. And I think we should start at the bottom because I think this is the easiest call for number 8. San Jose. The Sharks, who had a not very good 2022-2023 season, they finally arrived at a rebuild. And yeah, this rebuild was overdue for a lot of years. They made a huge mistake by signing Erik Karlsson. They made a huge mistake by extending Thomas Hertl. They could have started the rebuild 3 years down the road. And I think if they would have started the rebuild 3 years down the road, they now would not be in such a bad place as they would be now. They could have Tim Stützle on the roster as the corner piece of the franchise and wouldn't have to deal with cap crunch, with problems that are all self-made by Doug Wilson and the way the Sharks acted. This year it's tanking. Basically, I wouldn't be surprised if they would end with 40-45 points. It will be a tough year, and it will be tough years to come because their prospect pool is not that good. Not that big. That comes from having a lot of success in recent years. Now they have to pay the price. Okay, number 7, the team that already has paid the price. I'm picking the Anaheim Ducks to come in at number 7. A team that's already on its way out of the rebuild. They have very good young pieces. At the day of recording, they have not signed Jamie Drysdale and Trevor Zegras, but I think this should happen before the season starts. The Ducks are on their way out of the rebuild. Let's see how they progress, but I pick them to be a lot closer to 6th place than to 8th. Talking about 6th place goes, yeah, and from here on, it's getting close. It's really getting close. I think between number 6 and number 3. In the end, I think 6 will be the Vancouver Canucks. But, as mentioned, this team could surprise us in a positive way. If they surprise us in a negative way, they end up 6th. They will, I cannot believe that they will be close to Anaheim or even to San Jose. Between 6 and 3 for the Canucks. That's where I see them. If everything runs good for them and bad for the others, they could end up 3rd in the playoffs. They could end up 4th, most likely in the playoffs. If everything runs to normal, I see them at place number 6. And let's see if they can resign Elias Pettersson with another year out of the playoffs. At 5, I'm picking the Seattle Kraken, who had a very, very good 2022-2023 season, made it to the playoffs with over 100 points, went to the 2nd round, beating Colorado, the reigning Stanley Cup champion. They still have a very good team, but I think now the teams might have adapted a little better to the style Seattle plays. They still have 4 good lines, 3 good D pairs. Philipp Grubauer in goal is no slouch either. But I think not everything will come together as good as it did last year. I see the Kraken in at 5th and a maybe for the playoffs. At 4, I see a team with a huge potential for a big comeback. I see Calgary in at number 4. They also had a nightmarish 2022-2023 season and almost made it to the playoffs, but with guys like Jonathan Huberdeau, with Nazem Kadri, Elias Lindholm, Jacob Markstrom in goal, this team is just, on the paper at least, it's too good not to be at least 4th in the Pacific Division. Yeah, the Pacific Division was the weakest of all divisions for quite some time. Now I think this torch has passed on to the Central Division, but we will see. Anyway, I think Calgary has this huge comeback potential this year with not having Daryl Sutter as a coach anymore, and the reported thrift in the locker room and the thrift between him and all the players in general. Calgary could be a lot better than last year. In a 3, I have Los Angeles. I just could have written LA, everybody would know what I mean. But yeah, the Kings, who made a pretty huge trade. They traded basically a whole line for Pierre-Luc Dubois. Let's see if this comes to pass for them. Let's see if this works. Because trading a whole line for one player, yeah, this player has to be really good. And Dubois has a very, very, very big potential. But what do they do at the center position? Let they play him on the wing, because they have Kopitar as the first line center. I think this is set in stone. You also have Philippe Danault, who is definitely not a third line center. He should be at least the second line center. Philippe Danault is a very, very good and very, very effective defensive player. So what do they do with Dubois? Will he be the second line center and Danault slips into the third line role? Or let they play Dubois on the wing with Danault or with Kopitar? A lot of questions that have to be answered by Todd McLellan. Anyway, this team is one of the younger teams. It has a lot of potential. I see them definitely as a playoff team. And I see them facing in the first round the Vegas Golden Knights, who I pick in at number 2, second in the Pacific. The Vegas Golden Knights, yeah, of course, reigning Stanley Cup champions. Head off, congratulations once again to the Vegas Golden Knights for winning the Stanley Cup in 2023. But yeah, with the Stanley Cup always comes a little bit of a Stanley Cup hangover. Let's see if Vegas is the exception to this rule. I don't think so. But I think this team is just too good if their goaltending can hold up. Logan Thompson had very good parts of last year, and Aiden Hill had fantastic playoffs. If these two can be what they advertised to be last season, the one in the regular season, the other one in the playoffs, if they can bring this all into the regular season, Vegas at least second, maybe even first. But I think first should be the Edmonton Oilers. Very good pickup, I think, was Matthias Ekholm last year at the deadline. He can bring another level of stability and coolness with his Swedish heart to the Edmonton defense. That has Darnell Nurse. Yeah, he is a little bit overpaid, but he is a good defenseman. And a team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evander Kane and all the other guys, they have the potential to score more than 4 goals a game. If the defense works and the goaltending, yeah, Jack Campbell has to have a comeback season, of course, but he can't have a nightmarish season like last year he had. The Oilers have definitely the potential, and I think they will end first in the Pacific. Okay, that was my ranking, how I see the Pacific Division, the final standing in 2024. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you think will win the Pacific? Or you want to give me a full ranking, feel free to do so. Let's have great discussions in the comment section below. And I hope you stay tuned for the next video of the series, as we will head east, and the next division I will predict will be the Metropolitan. Look out for this one in a couple of days. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and see you soon back here on the channel. Thanks again. Have a good time. Goodbye.